Hello, Roger.
Hello.
So we're in Hengrove Mounds round here. What was it like growing up round here, and what was your first memory of nature?
Right. Good question, Ben. I actually wasn't brought up around here.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Cut.
I'm sorry. I am a real inner city boy. I
Okay.
was born in St Paul's,
Ah.
and my playground. I was born above an electrical shop owned by my parents,
Yeah, okay.
and my playground was a pavement
Yeah.
next to a busy main road pumping out dirty fumes.
Oh, lovely.
And that was it. Luckily, my dad had a foresight to buy a tiny little caravan down at Breen Sands. And so from about 3 till I was 10, every weekend, wow, we went to the seaside.
Yeah.
So I had that extreme upbringing of dirty, filthy, smelly main road, and going to school next to a dirty, filthy, smelly main road. And I knew it at the time.
Yeah.
I had pleurisy 5 times between when I was born to when I was 11.
I don't even know what pleurisy is.
It's 1 stage down from pneumonia. You're really, really ill.
Is that based on the fact that you didn't have the heat in
Lungs.
your house, or is it
Lungs.
lungs? Was it
Lungs,
okay.
yeah, breathing that muck.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't realise it at the time. And my dad was a chain smoker.
Okay.
So-
Didn't help.
Quite a successful guy, but if you're sat there with your dad, chain smoking, 24/7 in a little flat over a shop, and then you play on the side of lead-loaded fuel, stinky cars with a traffic jam every morning. That's what I was brought up. So my first discovery, unbeknown to me at the time, was to go to the seaside every weekend and just run on the beach and discover Breen Down, because there were no animals in Lower Ashley Road in St Paul's except a cat peeing on the shop door, every morning, thinking like that. So that was my first introduction.
Can you explain some experiences that have benefited you in nature, personally, or that have benefited your community? Or both?
Yeah, good question. Health obviously comes straight to mind for personally. When we finally moved out of the inner city and moved up to Hengrove so that I could go to Hengrove Comprehensive School as it was at the time. Of course, I discovered places like the canyon and all that around Whitchurch with mates, which, having been used to playing on the pavements next to smoky, stinky cars to come out to the canyon and then go to Hengrove School with a massive playing field, I just couldn't believe it. It was just fantastic. And my pleurisy and annular bouts of pleurisy and pneumonia ended immediately, even though my dad was still a chain smoker and we had a proper house, with a big garden. So that was an immediate impact on me, which even then, with my limited awareness of the environment, I realised it was different. I'm 68 and I did 2,500 miles in the last 12 months on various bikes, mostly mountain biking.
So what's the impact been on you?
Well, fantastic. Well, I'm on no medication and most of my friends are. I'm vegetarian not for some anal reason, as I studied nutrition 20, 30 years ago to really in depth, because I wanted to know what are we supposed to eat, so I ended up vegetarian. I've got no aches, pains, no arthritis. Most of my mates are at least on statins, at least. And most of my mates have had hip replacement, joint replacements. They're on pills for their heart and all that. I've got a resting heart rate of 48 beats a minute, which is athlete. And I'm not Superman, just a normal guy,
And you put that down to cycling?
Oh yeah, and getting out, and I cycle along the beaches. I go down to Breen and Burnham. I get on at Burnham and I cycle to Breen Down. Then I go cycle along Breen Down and come back, or I go up the back of Burrington on Blackdown and all that. And very fortunate around here, Ashton Court, all of those areas. We're very fortunate. It's safe. It's off road. What I like the mountain bike is no cars. Road. I do probably 100 miles a week on a road bike, just to do a bit of hard going, but it's boring. And potholes aren't any fun. There's no fun in potholes.
No. What simple things do you do then, Roger, or like can we all do, that can help people and planet?
Yeah. One of the basic things that I did and studied, because when I was at school no one taught me about nutrition and health and well-being, is I spent about 5 years studying what should we really be eating, because I actually didn't know. And as a successful businessman at the time, I'm talking probably when I was about 45 to 50, by that time I was suffering a lot of stress, lots of stomach problems and acid reflux, all those things that stressed businessmen get. And my son woke me up to it and said, "You are what you eat, Dad," which is a corny old phrase you've all heard.
No, but there's
So,
something in it.
yeah, the company was able to carry on without me being there every day, and I was able to go on lots of courses, and I studied it, and I had no preconceptions. I was a blank sheet, and I came away with the common sense thing that vegetarian is the thing to be. Not for any emotional reasons, bunny rabbits and having their heads cut off and chickens in factory farms, even though I do think that's disgusting. That's something we can all do, because we're feeding a huge animal population, and it's a really inefficient way to feed so many people on the planet. So that's one obvious thing. And then through work, I noticed every week, and it really did get to me, the throwaway society I was part of as a construction company owner. Those waste skips that went out just went to landfill for most of my construction life. It's only in the latter end, I'm 68 now, it's only in the latter years that we started getting a bit sensible. But that waste was just abhorrent to me. I just couldn't understand how stupid we were being, And at the end of a site, we throw away probably 10 pallets of perfectly good concrete blocks.
Or could have been used on the next site,
Yeah.
or someone else's site,
Yeah.
or sold, or given away.
And the offcuts of brand new wood that were thrown away weren't used to chipboard. There's no way for me as a business owner to get them recycled. Then I got introduced into modular housing, which is factory built housing, which is very efficient.
Yeah.
So the things made in a factory, there's virtually no waste, and for the last 8 years I've been absolutely passionate about that.
Why is modular housing good for the environment then? What is the reason, like for people that might not have heard of modular housing what is it about it?
Well, it's very efficient, it's very efficient use of products, and it can use recycled products. There's methodology to make sure of that. It makes energy efficient properties as well, and the thing is, from when the builder gets the plot of land, literally you could be moving into the house in 14 days. From the grass to moving in, which makes sense. You haven't got all the lorries delivering individual parts. It makes no sense to have a lorry delivering a pile of bricks, and a lorry delivering the wood, then the trusses, then the tiles, then the felt. It's crazy. Loads and loads of subbies running around working inefficiently. Absolutely crackers. It's much better to put it on the back of a lorry like a Victoria sponge and deliver it ground floor, top floor, roof. And high quality. You can get a mortgage on it, you can get all that, and the prices are coming in right. Yeah, the lifespan of the building is just as good as traditional stuff. No problem with that. It was banks just getting mortgage companies. Now they're on board.
What's your thoughts on this then? Because it's by chance. So John, who we spoke to last week, who's a caretaker at Goblin Coombe, we were chatting about.
Okay. Yeah.
He is just with Knoll West Media Centre, and I can't remember what the name of the project's called, but basically they're getting local people to start building flat pack houses in
I'm
back
involved
gardens.
in it. Yeah, Craig White's the architect. I'm involved in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very small.
It makes sense, doesn't it? They looked at all the plots. Craig White did a huge amount of work.
But does it make sense? So I'm trying to think now of like the building industry as a whole. Does it make sense to the building industry to suddenly have buildings that normal people, everyday people like me and you before you made all your big bucks, obviously still you, but do you know what I mean? That could build their own homes for a cost-effective amount that would mean people from normal backgrounds and normal jobs could get on the property ladder. Is that not going to impact massively on the construction industry? Would they not stop it?
Well, the national house builders won't like it. No. The national house builders aren't in the business of building houses, they're in the business of making money. They don't care, they just as easily swap over to tins of beans. No matter, they're just a group of people making money. just happens to be something they're in, you know. So they don't care. The thing is, there's such a shortage of housing, they can sell their inferior products, you know, and they are inferior. You know. Back to the vegetarian bit, which I don't want, the pressure would be taken off the land and the countryside if we didn't inefficiently feed plant material into animals and then eat the animals. Because we're keeping like 3 populations on the planet. You need twice as many animals to feed, you know, the population of. It's pointless. It's really inefficient to feed an animal. You might as well eat the plant life straight yourself. You know, that's it. So we've got to address a lot of issues, and you said it earlier, people don't like change, but we've got to swallow it. They're not bitter pills. They don't have to be a bitter pill for change. It can be better. You know, the reason iPhones took off is because they work brilliantly. No one had to write legislation to make you buy an iPhone. You bought one because it was better.
Yeah, but you could put that iPhone in your hand.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
better.
Yeah, it is better, but the land ownership, it's still, there's another part of the jigsaw. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but people with money don't want to give it up.
No.
Again, I don't know the stats, but you know, probably the vast majority of the country is owned by a small amount of people, and without that land being given back to the people, without going on to that too much, then people aren't going to have the opportunity to.
You're absolutely right. We've got another problem at the moment because people with money are trying to sort out their pensions and all that, me included. Land is the investment, so that's driving it up again. If we had a substantial state pension, a good one, then there wouldn't be that desperate clawing for land, because I tell everybody, if you want to get rich, deal in land and property. Well, that's actually self-destruct in the end. It is for someone wanting to get into it.
If you've got money,
it's making the rich
money
richer and the poor poor. And I'm really uncomfortable with that. But I got to look after my family, and it comes to that. You know, no one's going to throw themselves on the rocks. You know,
no, but there's a and look, don't get me wrong.
Good word,
you know, like there's a compromise with all this, and there's a compromise with climate change, with the things that we do day to day. There's a compromise with how much money and things do we really need to survive. And like, who am I to tell people what to do? Do you know what I mean? I do things that don't help the planet, and I do things that don't help people. But I guess, like, if we have that discussion, then you said loads of things. Like there is a compromise, and
we can do it. We got too much stuff, definitely.
And we don't need it all.
No, we don't. We've got too much stuff, and I'm guilty of it. I'm first to admit. Not many people will. You know, I'm the first to admit I'm the biggest hypocrite on the planet. You know, but at least I'm going the right way. At least I'm aware of it, and I'm actually doing something. Most people just sit on Facebook and moan about doing nothing. I mean, we got to get off our asses and do something.
But that is exactly it. So, Roger, what tips could you just suggest, really, the things that have helped you, help your well-being, or over lockdown, things that have helped you?
Yeah, I've discovered that we are response able. We can make a change, even though we feel we're just one person, and perhaps sometimes with big issues going on, we feel a bit overwhelmed and feel very powerless. One of the things I've learned, that we have a massive vote with where we spend our money. If we spend wisely, we can make a huge difference, because if we don't support business, it dies. So business is demonised.
Supporting business that is helping the planet, that is helping people. That I don't know. This might not even be the case. Like Tridos Bank, they help the planet, don't they?
If we support the right businesses, then it'll go the right way. So just spend wisely. You know, I mean, we're in this throwaway society. Don't buy the stuff that's got. Don't buy those cheap, crappy plastic toys. I'd never buy any of those for the grandkids. You know, that's in your face on the front of magazines. So it's us buying them. People only produce them because we buy them. Well, we do. I've done it. Yeah. But we that's what we've got to be aware of. It's the most powerful vote we've got, better than our political vote. If we spend wisely, then we bring down empires. No doubt about it. That's it, really. That's the golden nugget.
No,
spend wisely.
It's massive because we all got the choice in that, haven't we?
We have, yeah. Yeah.
And we can start that today, can't we?
We can, yes, exactly. So I'll walk home and leave my car here.
Nice one. I'll take the car home.